this united opposition is going to have people on the table who want to run for presidency. Wiper has now brought Kalonzo on the table. PLP has brought Madakaru on the table. DCP is probably bringing Rigathi on the table if he will qualify. So we are also entitled as Jubilee Party to have somebody on that table. And then they are going to be put in a conclave like in Rome. And we wait for the white smoke. What is beautiful about it is that they are all declaring that whoever is appointed or nominated or selected, they are all going to support that candidate. We are not about to go killing parties or killing multi-party democracy. In fact, the more the merrier, the better. Let people decide. Let people have an opportunity to pick their own candidates. Actually, when you do that, you get a good turnout, because when you're bringing out your people to vote for you, I'm bringing mine to vote for me, the turnout gets higher, provided we have agreed. I want to put everything in perspective. The first topic was about these new arrangements with what is going on with William and Gideon and the others. And I think people are forgetting that politics is about numbers, and William is a political animal. And he will try whatever he can do, wherever he can get his support. Remember, when they first came into government, they said there would be no nusumukate, there would be no accommodation for the opposition, etc., etc. Later than maybe a month or a year or so down the road, there was the broad-based government, the MOUs that were signed with the ODM. Let me say ODM because it did not carry the entire Azimio formation. As far as Jubilee is concerned, yes, you're right. We've been in and out of the courts. Of course, we always suspected where this was coming from. But after very protracted court battles for 2.5 years, close to 3 years now, Jubilee was totally disorganized and destabilized by some rebel factions that decided they wanted to go and work with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Now, they got quite some support from various quarters, but I think that now is behind us because the courts have pronounced themselves. And this was actually demonstrated in our last NDC, where we were very clear that now we are moving out to rejuvenate and to revitalize Jubilee. We didn't have enough time to participate in a lot of these by-elections. I think we're only going for one civic seat in Narok. That was informed by the fact that it was our seat anyway, and the local member is also a Jubilee member of parliament, and the ground told us whatever it takes, we have to run a candidate there. For the rest of them, Bere, we all agreed as a united opposition, we're going to support the Democratic Party candidate. We're hoping we would all support the DAP candidates in Malava. We had DCP saying they were going to run somebody in Banisa, and then I'm told that one also pulled out. There was no point for us to throw money in Ugunja and Kabondo, but I'm told there are also several other parties who are challenging ODM. This kind of new realignment, if I may call it that, is a pointer to the bigger game to come in 2027. And what you're witnessing now, even in like our Mount Kenya region, is sibling rivalry, primarily between the DCP and Jubilee. Remember, Mount Kenya was Jubilee until the new kid on the block took our members of parliament, and most of our people were voted on an UDA ticket. These people are very, very unhappy with the deliverables of the Kenya Kwanza administration, including some of those who are still in parliament, who are telling us they're just bidding their time and they want to have a home because they feel UDA is not giving them that home, and the promises that were given to them are not being fulfilled. But having said that, Debar, what we are trying to do at the moment in terms of going out into the field and starting our recruitment and identifying as a national party and not a regional party is rubbing some people up the wrong way. But, Jubilee has been in government for 2 terms. First as TNA URP, and then the Jubilee Alliance, and finally the Jubilee Coalition, which then went into the Azimio Coalition. And that is why we are saying we're still part of the Azimio Coalition. We have never removed ourselves from Azimio. Some of our partners in the united opposition have even written to the registrar to say they want to get out. But even our party leader made it very clear we're still part of that Azimio coalition. I had said this before. We had, of course, people like Matiang'i running the latter part of the Uhuru administration. Matiang'i was literally running the Jubilee Manifesto. So it is not surprising that Matiang'i has been a member, or is a member of Jubilee. And this united opposition is going to have people on the table who want to run for presidency. Wiper has now brought Kalonzo on the table. PLP has brought Madakaru on the table. DCP is probably bringing Rigathi on the table if he will qualify. So we are also entitled as Jubilee Party to have somebody on that table. And then they are going to be put in a conclave like in Rome. And we wait for the white smoke. What is beautiful about it is that they are all declaring that whoever is appointed or nominated or selected, they are all going to support that candidate. What we are seeing right now, and I like what Shamala is saying, we are not about to go killing parties or killing multi-party democracy. In fact, the more the merrier, the better. Let people decide. Let people have an opportunity to pick their own candidates. Actually, when you do that, you get a good turnout, because when you're bringing out your people to vote for you, I'm bringing mine to vote for me, Professor is bringing his to vote for him, the turnout gets higher, provided we have agreed who the presidential candidate at the top is. That is one of the biggest problems we have witnessed in Raila's territory, where once they nominate ODM candidates, those candidates don't even need to campaign. They don't need to go for the voter turnout. The last election, we are told, was 66% for the presidential vote. Now, if you kill multi-party and you tell people they have all got to be either in your party or the highway, that I think will reverse all the gains that people fought for. And we fought for these things at the university in the 80s and 90s. And we are not about to let that go. Let the people compete on the ground. But as the united opposition, we are quite happy to get them around the table and come up with one opposition candidate against the Kenya Kwanza government.